I don't care if you've been fapping the Gemma all night. If you smash that like button, welcome to Black and Black Time Vanity. I'm your host, Cthulhu's Prodigy, coming to you live and direct from the Vista. Smoke me out fam with all the danks and danks. On my left, the oldest ninja in the world, old ninja.
Pretty soon they're coming for your. Well, if you live in the U.S., they're coming for your food appliance. So you know.
Out of my cold, dead hands. That's what I say. I'm a far right engineer on the ones and twos, choke people out on the threes and fours. Chronos.
Let them buy Cybertrucks.
Nope. It's terrible.
If y'all understand, it's the whole "let them eat cake" reference. If y'all don't know, I'm just saying that's what they're doing with us right now. These clowns.
That's centuries. That's a century. Is it a century? It's like 2-century old reference.
Yeah, it's a minute. You know. Yeah. People fucking up their own. People in power screwing over their own people. Like, oh, just let them eat cake. Like, motherfuckers can't even afford cake. They can't even afford flour. Look, if you can't afford eggs, you can't afford a Tesla. I don't know how to tell you this. I'm just saying.
This is truth. Triple truth. I will say this. Let me just be real clear. I am laughing my ass off at all of the vandalism. I don't care. It's funny to me. I don't care. A lot of these folks driving Cybertrucks, leaving them in parking lots, coming back, and that shit got a big old spray painted dick on there. The tires slashed. Fuck Elon listed on all the stuff is being done to these trucks. And I'm laughing. I don't care. I think it's funny. Okay,
you can think it's funny. You do not care. Honestly, I think that people bought these Cybertrucks that are obviously something might be a little wrong with you if you buy one of those. In my personal opinion, I'm just saying. However, at the time of him selling the Cybertrucks, he wasn't so widely known to be a piece of shit. To me, he already was at the time, but he's exponentially getting worse. And he's screwing everybody over. And this latest stunt of him going to the White House to get the president to sell some Teslas, if this doesn't like literally define conflict of interest, nothing else does. The man paid millions of dollars to President Trump for his candidacy to like make sure that he's gonna become president, and now he has that same man putting his products in front of the White House and basically doing a sale. Like he's out there telling you how much they cost, how great they are. Meanwhile, not even 6 months ago, this dude was out here talking all this shit about electric vehicles, about how they're not reliable, they don't go far enough, blah, 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 blah. And all of a sudden somebody, gives him, $200 million for his campaign and he wins. And all of a sudden, I guess they're great. These are the greatest cars of all time and blah, 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 blah. Like this is such a sham. I've never seen in my lifetime such blatant corruption, and for the masses to just be like, oh yeah, I'm okay with that, like whatever.
And let me be really clear, because some people get all kind of butthurt about, oh, how could you just shrug off or laugh at vandalism of someone's car. Listen, I know what the fuck Elon did at presidential night. That was a Nazi fucking salute. He did it twice. Not only that, because it's not just about that terrible symbolism. No, he's laying off federal employees left and fucking right who didn't do any crimes or didn't do anything wrong or whatever. He's just willy-nilly doing that shit, sometimes doing it so recklessly that he has to hire them back, just for the sake of safety and whatnot. And I'm sorry, but these vehicles do represent you supporting one way or another if you're keeping that vehicle.
Yeah, that's the problem though. I mean, like they can't. It's hard to like sell them. So I have a little bit of sympathy for them. Like I understand where you're coming from though. Like I get it, but like some of these people, like they can't really sell them right now. They bought him before he did all this crazy shit. So like I kind of get that. And let me just go back because I don't want to like simp for this fucking dude because I fucking hate that dude. All right, I just the people that happen to buy his cars before, I feel kind of bad about it, but what he's doing is literally illegal. It's literally illegal. And what he's doing is he's going through like a loophole that really shouldn't exist because he's laying off people that are on probation. Well, if you're in the federal government and you get a promotion, guess what? You're on probation for like a year for that promotion for like most of the time. So like,
Yep.
so just saying you're going to lay off people that are on probation, that's like a lot of skilled people. And yeah, some of them are kind of new, but like a lot of them, they're getting great reviews or they had great reviews, and you're laying them off. And he's laying off, people that are disabled veterans, which you can't really do that easily. Like that's illegal. They set aside jobs just for us in the federal government.
They even have gone so far, and I can't remember the names. Obviously, fact check me on the actual names, but there have been high-ranking black military. I'm just going to use the word general, but obviously, fact check me, Chronos, get their actual names and whatnot, who have been basically demoted for nothing but being a black military personnel. Go ahead. I know you got some right there off of your fingertips.
I forgot the guy's name.
I was reading the story earlier.
Yeah, he was in the Air Force, and actually, there's a really good podcast on it about, I forget who the fuck it was from though, but basically it broke down like why he got fired, and it was kind of bullshit because the guy's black, and basically he was appointed by Trump like way back in the day.
Yep.
Originally, and then after George Floyd happened, he came out and he said like, hey, he started talking about like him being a black pilot because he's in the Air Force, and he's the highest ranking person that we have in the military right now.
Mm-hmm.
He was a 4-star general, was he not?
Yes, which is the highest you can normally go.
He was a chairman of the Joint Chiefs, Air Force General C.Q. Brown.
C.Q. Brown, that's his name. And so because he came out and said, he basically just laid out like his troubles of like getting into being a pilot in the Air Force and all that, and he was actually advocating for more diverse people to become pilots, that they deemed him DEI, and that's why he got fired. And he got replaced by somebody who has way less experience than he does. Way less experience. Like he has
less stars.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy that he, but it's not surprising. And he also fired a woman that was I forget what her rank was, but she was very high ranking as well, and it's very obvious like what they're doing.
Yeah, she was the head of the Coast Guard, was she not?
Yep.
Yeah. What's her name?
I don't remember her name. Hold on.
Yeah, look that up. Put that out
she
there.
was high ranking too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong. Like, yeah, you can. It's up to the president's discretion to hire and fire certain members of the military. That's within their right. But the fact that you're replacing them with somebody less qualified, that's a problem. Like way less qualified. That's a national security like issue. Along with all these firings that Elon Musk is doing. Like these are all leading to national security issues inside of America, and people just don't seem to get that.
So she was commandant. I don't know if people, even I know, being a commandant like takes a while to get.
Well, it's just it's the head. Yeah.
Yeah, she was Commandant Admiral Linda Fagan.
Yeah, and she probably did something similar. It said like, "Hey, it's hard for me to be a woman in the military," and then all of a sudden that's DEI. But it is. Listen, if you're a person of color or a woman in the military, that shit's hard. How do I put this? I'm a Marine. Obviously I've been out for a long time, but for somebody to tell me that there's no racism in the military, you're fucking full of shit. You're full of shit. And I can prove it just in the military alone. If you look at like the vast, like people of color are overrepresented in the military. We are. And if you go and look at like the enlisted ranks, everything looks fine. Like it's pretty evenly distributed to like what the actual force looks like in the military. But then when you go to the officer side and you go past like colonel, like you will see serious issues. There's no way that it's basically the vast majority are white dudes, the vast majority. And that's a serious issue. And in the military, I probably told this story here on the podcast before, but it's like, this is my stupid brain back then. Is like they said there was no racism in the Marine Corps because there's either green Marines or dark green Marines. And at the time I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense. But no, the fuck it doesn't, because you already separated out the two people. The green Marines are white people and the dark green Marines are everybody fucking else. So they already separated it out. That's racist bullshit. And we all just kind of sucked it up. And, and I've seen, racist shit happen inside the military. There's fucking known racist groups within the military right now. Why do you think Pete Hegseth, who's now the what is this fucking, his role is a Secretary of Defense? Secretary of Defense. Why the fuck do you think he got asked to step down from his place of whatever position that he had in the Army? It's because he had possibly racist tattoos. That's why.
Yep.
And he spotted a bunch of racist bullshit. And that's why. And he's a fucking drunk. And if you can go watch his fucking confirmation hearing, and it all comes out, and they still hired this dude. So
let me just be really clear with this. You got to be next level white supremacist racist to have tattoos on your body.
Yes.
With those that symbolism and that kind of level of hatred. But go ahead. Sorry,
real quick, because Papa Bear's in the chat. Me and Papa Bear, we did a really good podcast with Savannah, who wrote a book on the shit that she went through being a woman in the Marine Corps, and it's fucking horrific. Like when she went through, it is horrific. I forget the name of her book, but it is really good, and it breaks down like all the shit that she went through, like sexual harassment, sexual assault, getting pregnant. Like it's fucking crazy. And
She got pregnant.
yeah, it's really, really bad shit. And for people to like pretend that it doesn't exist because it didn't happen to them is bullshit.
Yeah. Blame the victim.
I don't know if y'all remember that incident.
Corporal Cannon. That's the name of the book. Corporal Cannon.
One more time, the author.
Her name is Savannah Cannon, and the book is called Corporal Cannon.
Cool.
Y'all remember the Fort Hood incident? What was it? A year or two ago?
I remember
2 years ago. That was all steeped in like everything bad was in that shit because it was murder and like rape and racism and sexism all in one fucking case where several of the commanding officers resigned over this case.
That was an ugly one.
And like and it took them months to try to find this woman's killer because her body was found on base. Like who the fuck leaves a body on like a military fucking base? Like what the fuck? That was some. If you ever seen what was it the movie with John Travolta and like Samuel L. Jackson, I think it was The First Daughter or some shit like that, where there was like murder shit and shit. Like it was like almost the same shit, but in I think it was 2022.
I can't remember the year, but
that was some shit.
Yeah,
like, holy shit.
Yeah. I want to be fair
on
this and just say, just because I laugh at Tesla's being vandalized, you can. Obviously, I understand. Yeah, maybe it's hard to sell. I get it and all that. I know some people personally that got them. It is what it is. But I'm gonna find some humor in whatever the fuck I want to find humor in. So it is what it is, man.
I'm gonna say this. I'm just gonna drop this bomb on there. So for the people out there that are laughing and making all these like assumptions, or to them it's fact. But when George Floyd died, people were laughing about him dying, saying that he deserved to die because he was a felon. He was a convicted felon, even though he'd already served his time. And people that were saying that he's the left's hero and shit like that. I think this is a very, very minor kind of nuisance to deal with. Don't get me wrong, vandalism is wrong. It's definitely illegal. But I still don't think it's on the level of George Floyd's death. I think it's on the level like this is kind of like humorous because I'm pretty sure. Well, actually, I don't know all the cases. I'm pretty sure people use spray paint, which is probably hard to get up to a Cybertruck. But still, most of the time, what I've seen is people who bought the Cybertruck, they put like a disclaimer saying, "I bought this before I knew Elon was crazy." That's probably the best thing I've seen out there. I was like, "Holy shit!" Like it's like, and like people put that on, and underneath they say, "Please don't fuck up my car." Holy shit, that's fucking crazy shit. Like these are the times that we live in.
Well, I mean, and to be honest, like people are, obviously Tesla has lost a lot of value. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if the board of directors for both SpaceX and Tesla voted him out. I mean, especially Tesla at this point. They need to vote him out. Like the last product that he kind of had a hand in designing, he didn't really have much of a hand designing like the rest of the models, but the Cybertruck he did, and he pushed it through like way too fast, and it's kind of hot garbage. Like it's got a lot of problems with the vehicle. I don't want to call it a truck because it's not really a fucking truck. It's got a lot of problems. It's had like a lot of recalls, a lot of things that like basically broke on it like right away. And now he's out here out of pocket like basically every fucking day, and Tesla stock has suffered immensely. Like they gained a lot of stock value, once Trump got elected, but they've negated all of that at this point, and it's probably going to get even worse because, most of Europe and Canada have basically made selling any Tesla basically impossible. So like nobody's buying their shit in his shit in those other countries.
I'm a quote Kendrick. It's not enough.
No,
no.
It's not.
Look, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. Like you don't have to buy stuff from people and organizations that you find reprehensible. You just don't. Nobody has a gun to your head. If you don't support what they doing, don't give them your money. Like period, point blank. And if enough people and more people did that, hopefully over time there'd be less heinous organizations and people making certain decisions.
Yeah, I mean,
I'll put it that way.
It does work over time. I mean, but it takes a long time usually. I think people that aren't really students of history, they think that like the bus boycotts back in the day were like a day or a couple weeks. No, there was like a fucking
years.
Year. Yeah, it's like more than that. Yeah,
2 years.
Yeah,
like
it was
that,
a while. But luckily, in the day that we live in today, you can make a significant financial impact on a company or corporation way faster than like a year. I mean, look at Target. They're probably one of like the best known ones right now. Target is they're fucked for right now because the vast like Target is a place where a lot of people of color used to shop, and they decided to get rid of all the DEI shit, kind of forgetting that they have an initiative like in their stores to push like especially hair products. You can buy a lot of really good hair products at Target if you're a person of color that'll work for your whatever texture of hair.
And some certain lotions, and even like black-owned Pop-Tarts. There was a lot of stuff over there.
And they just shit the bed on that one. And look at their stock. Costco's doing great, if you haven't noticed. Costco's doing great.
They are.
Yeah, they're like...
Still giving me an opportunity to buy a $1.50 fucking hot dog, too.
Exactly. And so I don't think... So if you live outside of California or a place where there's like not a lot of Costco's, Costco literally caters to their neighborhood. So like, for instance, there's like basically, if you live in the Bay Area, there's like fucking 5 Costco's within like 10 miles. And I'm not exaggerating. Like, and if you go to all of, if you go to them, they all carry different products because they know what the fuck their consumers want at those places. Because there's different consumers there.
Shit, where I live, there are literally 2 Costco's within a mile and a half of each other.
Yep.
And going south, if I go north, there's a Costco about 3 miles.
Yeah.
So I'm literally by 3 Costco's.
Yeah.
If I go further south, there's at least 3 Costco's. No, there's 2 Costco's by my work because one of them just opened.
Yeah, there's
even more further south.
There's literally there's 2 in Hayward. There's 1 in Newark. There's 1 in Fremont.
There's 2 in Newark.
There's 2 in Newark? No.
Or no, I'm sorry. There's 1 in Newark, 1 in Fremont.
Yeah, 1 in Fremont. Yeah, but there's 2 in Hayward. So that's that's 4, and there's another one like not too far from there too. So yeah.
So I think is there 2?
Is it San Leandro?
Yeah, there is one there.
So that's 10-mile radius. Yeah.
The San Leandro one is by Drake's.
Yes.
Drake's is right there.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's one right there. So there might be a third one in Hayward. I think kind of close to where your old home used to be. I think there was a
business one right by my old house.
Maybe that's what it was. Yeah, but I keep thinking so the Fremont and Newark ones, they're not the same city, but they're literally like one exit from each other.
Yeah, they're so close.
I'm like, who does that? Usually it's like a couple exits where you hit a Costco, but no, they're literally an exit away.
Well, you know what's funny is that one of the original, well, not original ones, but one of the early ones was in Fremont, like in between those 2 locations. It was like in between. Yeah, it was like where the Walmart is now.
I remember that one.
This is very Bay Area specific.
That Walmart's gone. It's a little funny.
The Walmart's gone?
Dirty Stu is sitting there listening like, what the fuck are these guys talking about?
I'm pretty sure Costco's in the UK.
What the fuck is the Costco?
I could be wrong. Yeah. No, but that Walmart you're talking about, that Walmart's gone. It's just an empty building now. And people try to park there, so the cops got to like usher people out. But yeah, that Walmart's gone.
I don't like Walmart anyway. Fuck their couch.
Damn. Just like that.
They know what they did.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
Dude, I just gotta say this because I feel like I'm going crazy in my fucking old age. Do you remember when Walmart was so crazy, religious, evangelical, conservative, that they literally wouldn't sell anything but censored CDs and
Yeah.
movies?
Yep, I remember that.
And like you couldn't go in there and buy, I don't know, New Jack City or a certain rock album or rap album or whatever, unless it was like a censored version. And so like, or even video games.
Yep.
Like, you know what I mean? Like they used to it would only be like up to PG-13 equivalent for all forms of media. And they would put a sticker on that shit. Like I'm talking, I think early to mid 2000s, they were doing this bullshit heavily.
I have no idea.
I remember that.
Oh.
Yeah. But also, I don't shop at Walmart.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, isn't Walmart's like their biggest market is like the quote unquote Bible Belt in the U.S. Is it not?
They got a lot of them. Yeah, I mean they're an Arkansas corporation. Let's just start with that.
Yeah, well, that there you go. You already started off. Their base. I mean, Arkansas is like Arkansas still lives in like the 1900s, like 1901 through 1944.
Bruh, yeah, you know this it's still considered the South, right? That's below the Mason-Dixon line.
Yeah,
right?
no, they're
sure.
100%.
It's like
100%.
Arkansas.
I don't fucks with it usually, you know. I know I need to go back there for like family purposes, but I still haven't been. Like I'll go occasionally, but it's like I don't enjoy myself there. I really don't, because people look at me weird, and I'm just like I don't like it. And there's no Asians there's no Asians there, and to me it's like that's super weird.
Yeah, there are parts of Arkansas and Georgia and whatnot where it's just white or just a black neighbor. Like that's it. You know,
that's weird to me. Coming from California, just saying.
Yeah. So you want to know what's weird? Is there's a lot of Asians in Minnesota. Apparently, there's a huge population of Asians.
What's his name? Clint Eastwood did a movie all about that, didn't he?
Oh, Gran Torino. I thought that was in California. All of his movies are mostly in the Bay.
No, that one was in the Midwest. I think that was in Minnesota. It was like the Hmong community or something like that. That was a weird movie, but it was pretty good.
It was. Yeah, it was awesome. A good movie. Yeah, but also he was super racist. So
he was extra racist. He was extra racist. Super racist.
He was racist and slowly starting to like just that one or two individuals, but still hating the whole group of them.
He saw the good ones, you know?
Exactly.
That's terrible. He's all you slant-eyed ones are all bad, but you two.
Oh man.
Yeah, I mean that's exactly how you. Old Ninja's not exaggerating. That's how he talked in that movie. That's
honestly, it is a good movie, but yeah, it's super racist. But it's
hella racist.
It's on it doesn't make the racist seem like a good person.
No.
So you know it's acceptable in that point of view.
And the thing ending was like, I was like wondering how this movie was going to end, and it ended like probably the only way it probably could have ended. But I was just like, well, it's still kind of fucked up, but he did. I mean, he did what he had to do, I guess. You know, it was some crazy shit. The movie was super crazy. But Clint Eastwood's not. He doesn't. It's funny because most of his movies big up the Bay Area, and he lives in Carmel. So those of you who are outside California, Carmel is basically where they do if you watch golf, you know where the fuck Carmel is. But if you don't know, they have really nice fucking golf courses, and most of that city is fucking golf courses. They're right by the beach, and there's really lavish fucking homes in this area. It's right outside Monterey, and there's literally a road. It's a 15-mile road. You have to pay to drive on.
Hold on. Last time I was up there and I accidentally drove towards that road, they were charging more than the fucking Golden Gate Bridge. They were charging like $15 or $20 to ride. I was like, what the fuck? It's not even a bridge?
The Golden Gate Bridge costs $7 to cross. It used to cost $2.
I remember that.
Now it costs $7. The 15-mile road, I forgot it's actually part of 101 if I'm not mistaken. Or no, it's Highway 1. Part of Highway 1. Yeah. It's literally $15 to drive 15 miles on this fucking road.
Didn't even come with head. Didn't come with nothing.
You know what's crazy though? We wouldn't need to have all these stupid ass fucking tolls on the road still, if they just expanded, public transit. Like have BART the way it was supposed to be to begin with. And also, tolls are they're not designed to be revenue makers. They were literally designed to pay for the thing that you're on. So you have tolls, like if you make a bridge, the toll is supposed to be until the bridge is paid for. And then the maintenance goes in taxes. But I said it before on this podcast. I've only seen literally 2 fucking toll roads in my life that got removed, or 2 tolls that got removed, and they're both down here in San Diego County.
Yeah,
it was the Coronado Bridge, and there was a place in Oceanside. They removed the tolls.
So Gran Torino takes place in Detroit, like downtown Detroit, or
really?
Metro Detroit.
Okay.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's set in Detroit.
That seems about.
Actually, it is set in the Rust Belt neighborhood of Detroit, but Detroit.
Seems about right.
So there's a lot of Asians there.
It is what it is.
That's crazy.
So
but
sorry,
most of them are still.
We just we hit the ground running on this one. Sorry.
We did.
First in the chat is my
40 minutes later.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Is my daughter Lily? Hi. And Warrior Fella, is in there as well. So is Papa Bear. Already said that. And listener of the week would be Zor once again, who got to see a couple weeks ago. That was great.
Oh, we did.
Had a great time.
That's right.
Yeah, we all.
He had a good time up until the end.
Up until
I wonder. I don't know if he remembers the end. Does he remember?
The next day, he was hating life. Maybe let's not do Fernet that much, because that shit tastes like. It tastes like I don't know, like the devil's piss.
It tastes like Jaeger. It's like Jaeger with more fucking liquid.
It's worse than Jaeger. I don't like Jaeger either, though.
Yeah, he jumped up and said, "I think I'm gonna do Fernet." I'm like, "Dude, you're drinking beer. Are you sure?" And he took off. I'm like, "Okay, bye. Good luck."
Jaeger tastes like my own bile from 1999 to me.
Jaeger's kind of sweet though. Fernet is not sweet. It is not sweet. It's bitter. Like I don't know.
I love how certain alcohol though will take you back to a certain night for the rest of your life, and you're just like, nah, I don't fuck with that. That one time in the year 2000, nah.
Yeah,
that's
me and tequila when I was in Puerto Vallarta with my family, and I had way too many drinks, and I lost my shoes, and I had to get carried back to my room to my parents. And my brother and sister literally probably up against the door, knocked on the door. My mom opened it, mom and dad opened it, and they just fucking ran and left.
I love it.
So yeah, they kept partying. Yeah.
To the house party.
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all remember that scene in the house party.
Yeah.
The guy, he just died recently. The actor where he got so drunk, they literally propped him against the door, rang the doorbell, and ran. So when they opened the door, he just fell.
I survived. I survived. I the next day, I kept doing drinking. That's
drinking.
Right. Yeah. I was like 18. I was super young. I didn't give a fuck. Even now, I don't, whatever. My liver's okay. Probably.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fuck a liver. Oh man.
I train that shit. It's fucking Olympic level.
I'm saying.
Oh my goodness.
All right.
Before we go on.
Oh yes. Yeah.
I just wanna pour out some what is it? Fuck. Forgot what the fucking what's the one with the fucking bowl? Anyway, some Old E. We'll pull out some Old E.
Man, you don't never pour out no Mad Cobra for nobody no more.
No, because I feel like Mad Cobra is like more of a like Mad Dog.
Or
King Cobra. I
was gonna say you're messing this all up.
Oh yeah.
So I was gonna say Anaconda
malt
liquor gives you a little dick.
Or are you mad I didn't pour out some booty sweat too? Like anyway, we're going back to Old E. Some of that brown malty shit that tastes like fucking burnt rubber. We're gonna pour some out for Dwayne Higgins. He was a singer, songwriter, guitarist, record producer. He's best known as the founding member of the R&B soul group Tony. But it isn't Tony Tone, as most people thought for decades. Some of you may have known that his younger half brother was Charles Ray Wiggins. What you may not know is that Charles Ray Wiggins changed his name to Raphael Sadiq, who was another member of Tony. The third member of the group was their cousin Tim Riley. Shortly after high school, the trio worked for Sheena Easton. So I don't know if you know who Sheena Easton is. She was kind of big in the 80s. She worked with Prince a bit. And if you've seen the movie, the 007 movie, For Your Eyes Only, she does the song for that. And they went on tour with her for Prince's Parade Tour. This is shortly after high school for them. This is like 18, 19. After they returned from touring with Prince and Sheena Easton, they formed the group Tony, Tony, Tony. The group has a ton of accolades, including 5 #1 hits, 3 top 10 pop singles, 1 gold album, 2 platinum albums, and 1 double platinum album. They sold over 6 million albums together throughout their career. Tony, Tony, Tony is an Oakland-based band. They're one of the R&B groups that helped define the 90s. I don't care what you say.
Yeah.
They broke up in 1997, but reformed again in 2023 and did a short tour. During his time when they were broken up, he founded the company Grassroots Entertainment in 1995. This helped artists such as Destiny's Child, Keisha Cole, Her, which is the acronym HER, Zendaya, and Kalani. He released his debut and only solo project with Motown Records titled Eyes Never Lie in 2000. Wiggins also worked with Alicia Keys on her 2003 album, The Diary of Alicia Keys, which won him a Grammy producing award. He's also the band leader for comedian D.L. Hughley's Comedy Central series Weekends at the DL. There's also a documentary on Too Short, Another Oakland Native, where Wiggins was the executive producer. According to his family, Wiggins died on Friday, March 7th, following a battle with bladder cancer. He was 64.
Damn. You know what's crazy is like obviously they had a lot of really great songs, but unfortunately Rick and Morty kind of ruined the song for me. I think it feels good. Well, like I think it Look Who's Purging Now? Is that the episode? Where like they're just murdering everybody and they're playing It Feels Good. Just like, every time I hear that song now, I think of that shit. Just murdering everybody.
So I got one more. This one I fucked up because I completely forgot this one last week, and I had it all kind of set up. But last week was Roberta Flack. She was a singer and piano player who was considered to have contributed to the birth of the Quiet Storm radio format. Her commercials.
Maybe I'm wrong. I thought you did cover her. Am I tripping?
I did not cover it. No, I did not cover her. Right. I had no notes on her. I completely skipped her last week, so I fucked up. But really quickly, her commercial success included the Billboard Top 100 charting singles, The First Time I Ever Saw Your Face, Killing Me Softly with his song, and Feel Like Making Love. She became the first artist. Let me say this again: the first artist to win Grammy Awards for Record of the Year in consecutive years.
Nice.
Record of the Year. She's the first one. This happened to her in actually, I don't know the year. I believe this is in the 80s, but she was around in the 70s. So she's also known to have frequently collaborated with Donny Hathaway, with whom she recorded several duets, including Where's the Love and The Closer I Get to You. She was one of the defining voices of the 70s, popular music, and remained active in the industry, gaining more success in the 80s with duets such as Tonight I Celebrate My Love with People Bryson, and collaborations in the 90s as well with Set the Night to Music with Maxi Priest. Across her decades-long career, she interpreted works by songwriters such as Leonard Cohen and members of the Beatles. In 2020, Flack received the Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award. She attended Howard University, which, if you don't know, is an HBCU, and she graduated at the age of 19. After graduating, she taught music and English in a segregated school in North Carolina.
Nice.
Let that sink in. She was alive during segregation.
Yep.
Some of y'all may
Ruby Bridges is still alive, so you know, a lot of them is, huh?
Well, here's the thing: some of these kids, especially now, have no idea because they don't have relatives that like talk about it or even live through it. So, There you go. She stayed in an apartment right next to John Lennon and Yoko Ono for 40 years, and Maya Angelou co-wrote one of her songs. The song And So It Goes for her 1988 album Oasis. She was friends with Jesse Jackson and Angela Davis. Unfortunately, she died at the age of 88 after suffering a cardiac arrest. So R.I.P. to Roberta Flack. And yes, I know most of the people probably didn't know, especially kids, because they don't know the original song. They did not know that she did Killing Me Softly with his song. They still think it was
Lauryn Hill.
Well, yeah,
Hill,
it's a remake.
Even though it was really Fugees, where Lauryn Hill was a group of. But yes, I get it. But that song was originally by Roberta Flack. And a lot of her songs, you can go back, they're still fucking chart toppers. And I'm pretty sure. Oh, actually, no. If you are a part of the EDM culture, some of you that are in the chat, I know you know this. A lot of her songs have been remixed heavily for EDM.
Oh yeah, they
So-
work perfectly with that.
Mm.
Real quick, going back to Tony. I mean, again, and don't get me wrong, I love Roberta Flack too, but Tony, like Anniversary is still like if you're with
Yeah.
somebody and you don't play Anniversary on your anniversary, then what are you
Yeah.
doing? You're doing it wrong. Whatever it is.
I'm gonna say I think there's
No,
decent-
Oh,
hold on.
hold on.
Asterisks.
Hold on. I would love to hear Old Ninja's expert relationship advice on this subject.
Yes, I believe that this only applies to the seasoned people that you play the song.
The seasoned people.
Mhm.
All I'll say is there has never been a better anniversary song than Anniversary in the history of music. And then secondly, I will say every time it fucking rains here in Southern California, I
Yep.
always think of It Never Rains in Southern
Yep.
California. Every fucking time. So
God dang.
yeah.
I mean,
And that wasn't
and it rained
obviously
today.
their.
It rained today.
Yep. That wasn't. I know that was like a remake for them, but their version of it was, one of the best.
And honestly, like we'll talk about another member of Tony. Raphael Sadiq, his work after Tony was amazing. Like he has one of my favorite live albums of all time. It was like him from like I think it was House of Blues.
Yeah.
No, and there's like this fucking like at the end of the whole album, there's like this dude that goes fucking ham on the drums.
Mhm.
And I think what's his name? D'Angelo was actually on the album too. I forget the name of the actual album, but I'm pretty sure it's just like Raphael Sadiq live from like the House of Blues. But it's like listen to that shit. It's fucking amazing. If y'all are not familiar with Raphael Sadiq's work, but you are familiar with Tony, listen to his album. Like his shit after Tony. It's fucking great. So yeah, and he has a fucking tragic life, man. A tragic life. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we don't have to go into it, but you're absolutely right. I've heard that story, and I'm like, for decades, very, very tragic life.
Yeah.
But he sings so fucking great. You know what I mean? And composes so well.
Yeah.
But R.I.P. to Dwayne Wiggins, man. Real fucking sad, man. We're losing a lot of folks. Hey, you may have it for next week, but there was one more. The guy Roy something who did Everybody Loves the Sunshine. You know who I'm talking about? Everybody loves.
Yeah, I know. I know who you're talking about. Yes, I missed that one too. That was also last week too.
Roy Ayers.
Oh, Ron Ayers.
Yeah.
Ron Ayers.
Yeah.
Y'all looked at me like I was crazy when I said it.
No, I was like, I mean,
for a second I was like, what the fuck?
First of all, point number one, you sing like shit. So
yeah.
I do too. So it's like,
That's awesome.
Anyway.
I missed him too.
Yeah, we'll get him next week.
Yeah, I got to give him next week. But yeah, we're losing some of our legends, unfortunately.
Well, this is the shitty part about aging. I mean, like, there's less of us. Like, there's so many folks that I've known from high school that have like passed away already. It's just like, wow. Like, I knew somebody that like passed away, and I think like they're either late 20s, early 30s from like breast cancer, and that hit me hard. I was like, whoa, like what the fuck? Like I knew this person.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot. It's weird to me that people that are younger than me that are passing. So,
but you're the oldest thing in the world, so that's
it's
expected.
I mean, I guess it's true, but I knew like this one girl I knew for she was like really popular and very outgoing. She and didn't know that she was suffering from cancer. She died the day before her high school reunion, and she kept telling people she's going to be there.
Yeah,
man.
That was some shit.
It is what it is. You know what I mean?
So Ninja, do you walk them down to the afterlife? Is that how this works?
No, I'm still here.
Oh, you come back,
sure
though, right?
No, I'm pretty sure once I leave, I'll have a new job.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll have my new job.
There you go.
It's already. I'm already slotted in.
I feel like they just got to pay you 2 coins, and you just walk them down where they got to go, and you just come back.
Yeah, I get my coins refunded. So
we should have called you Charon instead of Old Ninja. I'm just saying.
Oh yeah.
All right. I'm gonna snatch up this mic. I just gotta say, I'm proud of the Weavertree. I really am. the pervy weebs have won, and there's still more pervy weebetry going on. Um,
Yep.
I'm loving Monster Hunter Wilds. It scratches that fucking itch. I played finally for the first time with Old Ninja. What was it? Monday night? We got on there with B-Boy, right? Monday night?
Monday or Sunday.
One of them nights. Just in terms of gameplay, really quickly, in terms of things that I'm really enjoying about this game, I like the fact that you can open up fucking wounds on these fucking monsters. And maybe that was in some previous versions. I don't remember that in World or Iceborne, which was the only one I really played, but you open up fucking wounds, you attack that fucking wound, and you can down these fucking monsters pretty well. And then if you got somebody who lays traps real well, and I know I get in trouble for mentioning the word traps, I'm talking Monster Hunter traps, just to be clear.
Oh, fuck.
Don't hate me, Brazil. I know how y'all get down. But yeah, you set them traps, go for them wounds. I love the way that loop feels fucking to me. The only thing I'm still fucking confused on, and maybe you can explain this to me, Old Ninja, like I'm a fucking kindergarten or something. When I fucking put the monster to sleep, do I get all the fucking scraps of that motherfucker, or only when I kill him?
No, so you get different loot when you cap versus kill. So this is like a huge debate in the community, like capture or kill. If you capture, the hunt ends quicker, but you just get. I mean, you don't get less. You just get different. Like you get different rewards. I've gotten really good rare stuff from capping. People used to say the other way, like you should cap versus kill because you get better stuff, but that's not true. Apparently you get just as good, if not slightly better, if you kill. But I think the debate still kind of goes on. There's some weeb out there with the spreadsheet talking about the percentages of what you get. It all comes down to, like you were saying, the wounds. The more damage you do, the better your reward will be. So,
but I heard from this generation there is no cap. So I'm just
what
saying.
Are you talking about? It's all cap. Oh no! From this generation, they say it's either all busting or it's all cap.
No cap.
Yeah, damn kids. So yeah, I'm having a great time with this. It's crazy because when you hit end game content, it feels like you're in a new campaign without getting DLC. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? It just feels different because it's more freeform, but there's a lot of shit to do.
I just love the fact that Capcom knows exactly what they're doing. They do not let you skip a single Gemma cutscene where she is sweating and working on that armor every time. You know.
So I hate to burst your bubble, but you can skip every single cutscene. So
no, actually, I'm talking about the one where she's smithing.
Yeah, you can skip that.
Oh, for real? I thought you couldn't.
Yeah, no, you can skip. You can skip every single one of those.
All right.
So yeah. And like you said, they know exactly what she's doing because some people may not like her. Maybe she's not their hype. Maybe they're like brunettes or something. But if you do, you can stay and watch. If you don't, you can skip right on through. It's literally 3 scenes cut together. You skip all 3.
The amount of lewds tell me that the overwhelming majority of these pervy weebs do like themselves some Gemma.
So I want to say this kind of a caveat because now, before everyone hated the previous handler, like your previous mission giver, but now she's right up there with Gemma. She's up there, getting looted out in Rule 34, like left and right. I was like, where'd this come from? With her, she's like the new Velma. So, they're going wild with it. They're going wild with it. It's literally Velma and fucking Daphne, but in Monster Hunter.
What I can't wait for though is I want Capcom to not wait too long on releasing like Jill Valentine skins and Leon skins, and Chun-Li skins, and Mega Man skins, and all.
Yeah, I feel like that's coming, but I heard rumors that there was because if there is a new Resident Evil skin, I heard there's going to be a collaboration later on. I heard there's one. I heard there's one with Doom. There might be a Doom collaboration later on. I don't know how true that is, but there's going to be a bunch of shit. It's all coming. They're letting people get to the game, get their feel on, and then they're going to start dropping more content.
Look, I will say this. people like these collaboration shits. Like, I mean, Fortnite has been feasting off of this for like a decade and a half. It feels like almost. People like seeing their favorite characters in shit that's a different world sometimes. So, yeah, if you put Doom Guy in this, that'd be fun as a skin. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Why not?
Yeah, there's other rumors I've heard. I don't know how true they are, but I'm gonna do a wait and see. Like, I'm not even tripping. I know we're getting DLC that was announced like when the game dropped. They said DLC will be like early summer.
Yeah.
So I'm like, holy shit! Already they already had DLC fucking made up. They're probably testing DLC now.
Help me out on this. Get out your spreadsheet. What's the level cap on the HR right now?
I don't even know. I don't think anybody knows.
Yeah. Okay. Because
I'm probably the same. The previous Monster Hunters, the level cap was 999.
Fucking damn it!
All right.
So I mean, there's already people. Some fools. Some people have said that there's people that are hacking on PC where their hunter rank is 500 already. It's been like a week, so there's no way.
I mean, there is a way. We all know this.
Yeah, there's a way, but I mean, it's just like unsportsmanlike way.
It's not a sportsmanlike. It's just you play it like it's your fucking job. And, then there you go. Like,
or go sleep.
I understand that it's difficult for us, whole ass adults to understand this, but like back in our days, we used to do the same thing. Like, you used to play games like it was our fucking job, and that's why we were good. But now, we're older, so we can't do that. We got obligations.
Staying up all night and shit,
Yeah.
And then if you have like other friends with you who are also like, about that life,
Yeah. So I mean, we'll see. I mean, the thing is, you can keep playing, especially if you're a casual player. If you play like 2-3 days a week, it'll take you a while to get all the way up there. And by then, content will drop, so you have new shit to conquer. So there you go.
Yeah. Enjoying the ever loving fuck out of this right now. Kronos, what you playing right now?
I'm still playing Hades 2, the early access. Yeah, honestly, that's been my shit for a while. I was playing something else. I need to finish. I finished Astrobot, but I need to try to platinum it. That's what I'm working on right now. But yeah, Hades 2, I'm still playing it. It's once the game comes out, it's gonna be a 10, more than likely. Minimum 9. So it's that fucking good. I think people are gonna label it as like a DEI thing because I've already seen people talk about it like DEI thing, but I'm like, you haven't played the game because it's not out yet, and I know that you haven't played it because you're calling it some DEI thing because just the fact that the main character is a chick doesn't mean shit. Honestly, she plays better than Zagreus did, so she can run. Zagreus couldn't fucking run. So and she has some of her weapons are better as well. And the whole trap setting thing, they added in a lot of gameplay mechanics into the game. And even with just the early access stuff, it's already a bigger game than the first game, by a lot. Okay. When it first released, I think it was after maybe the first or second DLC, it was bigger than Hades.
Wow.
So,
damn.
And the fact that they keep adding on stuff into this, it is amazing. Even right now, so they added in. There's basically there's an underworld and an overworld, just like in the first one. Remember that? I was you can go up top or go down below.
I didn't get that far, man.
Oh, Jesus Christ! All right, well, so after a while, you can go up top, and so once you go up top, you can go to you can go to Olympus basically, and when they first released the game, it was you couldn't survive in the overworld, so you had to go into the underworld and get all this resources, be able to go to the overworld. And even in the underworld, once you beat the boss, there's stuff after that, but that's where that ends. That's where the deals, that's where the early access stuff stops. So you can't go any further, but it tells you hey, there's more content here. When the game first came out, that's where that stopped. And the overworld, once eventually you open that up, you got to a point where you beat a mini boss, and then it was okay, now you can't get past this point. Then they released a DLC, you can go past this point to go to Olympus, and then just recently they released another one where you can go past Olympus into another area and have to fight this crazy ass boss. And so I'm pretty sure after that it'll stop and be hey, this is early access and there's more content to come. So there's it's already a lot of content, and they released a new weapon, a new fucking gods. It's been amazing.
Nice. Good shit.
I I don't know if you. I mean, Cronus and I have talked about this because I've been waiting for this since for like a year, but now, actually, I talked to B Boy about this as well. He's probably in the chat about now. Is they released like gameplay for Jumpship.
Yeah,
So early
yeah.
access is this summer. Yeah, so like they had like this. I don't think they're testers. But they're just like these dudes just playing like one of this fucking. It's like I saw the one that was 10 minutes. I guess there's one that's like 20, 25.
It's been in alpha for a while, so yeah.
Yeah, but the one that the 10-minute shit looks
Yeah.
fucking. It looks insane. I was like,
Yeah.
what the fuck? It looks so fucking fun. Like literally, you're on your ship. You have the guy that's piloting, and you have two other people. You can have one guy in the gun, and the other people taking care of the ship. Your ship gets fucked up in a battle, so they're out there trying to put out fires in space and shit. Even though that's kind of weird, but still cool. And then you board like the ship that's like 4 times your size, and you go in and steal their shit. And they have like these robots that try to kill you. And you got to jump back on your ship, and jump out of the system. And it's fucking crazy because I've seen other shit where you land on a planet, and then you have to go into a mine, take out pirates and steal their shit, and then take off. And like they upgraded their ship. They were talking about there's like it's so much fucking crazy fucking shit. It looks fucking great.
Yeah.
I can't wait for this shit to drop.
But this is a game you have to play you have to find like 5 solid dudes to play or people to play with.
Yeah.
Because like when you're in like a space battle, like it's hard to like explain, but there's like a pilot that's piloting the fucking actual ship. But then as you're piloting it, like the other 4 people, like they're still like in FPS mode. And so you can literally like as you're taking damage, like Oninja was saying, you can repair your ship. And so like if something gets damaged, you can repair, like say if your engine gets damaged, you can go and like repair it. Or if like, there's a fire breaks out, you can go and like put it out. But at the same time, you can literally go like on deck on like the ship that you're flying on, and then like jump out of your ship and like use a grappling hook to like get onto like another ship and just jack them. So it's like, it was so amazing, like watching all this happen in real time. It looks like a lot of fun. It has been out for like you people have been able to play it since last year. So
yeah, that's what I was waiting for. I thought it was supposed to release last year, but I guess it was an alpha, and now the beta is this summer. And the video clip that I saw, I don't know if the team set self-destruct on the ship they raided, or if it's in self-destruct to kill them. So yeah, you got limited time to steal their shit and get back to your ship. So you have like a jetpack to fly back to your ship and latch on before like either reinforcements come, you die because of some big ass explosion, and you have to leave the ship before like an armada shows up.
Yeah,
like the one when they like an armada was showing up. They jumped out of the system before like a whole wing of fighters came after them. It looked so fucking cool, and it's hella fast paced. Everything was fucking hella quick. I was like, fucking, this looks amazing. Cannot wait. This is my kind of game.
So wait, what? This is, you said it's been out for a year though?
Well, it's been so early access, so you have to have master race status to play this game.
Okay.
So yeah, I don't know like what consoles it's gonna be released on. It should be at least Xbox. So
yeah, it'll be on Xbox. I don't know about PS5. I'm pretty sure it will be. Maybe not directly at the same launch time.
We have the internet, so we can
do.
just look it up.
So there's rumors that it might be a day one Xbox Game Pass game. If so, that's fucking even better for me, like even more. But that game is worth paying for. In my
it's
point of view.
Looks like it's going to be on Xbox early access on Xbox Series and PC this summer. So that's probably like last year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure by August it'll probably be on PS5. But either way, this is a purchase for me. So this looks like this is fucking right up my alley.
Wait a minute. If it's gonna be on Game Pass, you ain't purchasing shit.
Well, he already purchased it.
I mean, I already purchased
for
it.
it.
I pay monthly for it, so yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Well,
yeah, thought you thought.
That's how that stuff works. Just like taxes, people complain about that shit. It's like, you already paid for it. Like, just use it. Goddamn, you paid for it.
Yeah. So
Hey, look,
I'm excited about this game.
I'm still. I mean, I'm not laughing at them, but I'm sort of chuckling. Like, look, that BioWare game 4 months later being on PS Plus, people are salty about that.
I gotta download that. Shit, I want to play it. You're talking about Dragon Age? Yeah.
Yeah,
it looked really good. But it's one of those. It's another one of those
that
things.
Shit was nominated. That was nominated for like several video game awards and like people. But people were talking all that fucking incel language shit, DEI and fucking woke shit, and I'm like, what the fuck?
I agree with you, but I will also say this at the same time. I mean, we could look it up to fact check, but I don't think it sold really well.
Well,
At
it
launch.
didn't obviously didn't sell really well because it's on, you know,
Yeah.
but nobody had that many, like nobody credible had bad things to say about it.
Mm.
So
I don't know that
Indeed.
many people like personally who played it. You know, other than it being on PS
well,
Plus.
that's still, you know, it's to my point. Like nobody credible has said anything bad about it.
I mean, if you look at the rankings, look at the scores for the game.
Yeah.
They're not low. So, and it was nominated for awards.
It
That
definitely
doesn't
was
mean-
not, you know, Mass Effect Andromeda. So
Yeah, for sure.
you know,
So-
give it a chance. I think that there's things where like there's momentum that gets stolen from some of these games because it gets like a bad rap before it even comes out. Because some people feel some sort of way, incels with way too much power. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I mean, there's people complaining that an orc woman is like trans or some shit.
yeah,
I'm like, dude, it's fucking make believe. It's like she literally. What the fuck's her name from fucking modern not Mortal Kombat? Chick with the 4 arms, Shiva.
oh,
It's like Shiva with the fucking cock, and y'all mad. Like, how many fucking humanoids you know with fucking 4 arms? Get the fuck out of here.
Well,
Bullshit.
but what's weird to me though is, I mean, I look back. This is 25, so maybe it was 23.
sorry. Pause real quick. We're talking about Dragon Age Veilguard for all the people that are kind of confused about this. Dragon Age Veilguard is what we're talking about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but if you look back like 23, and I've talked about this a billion times on this show at this point, Baldur's Gate, and that was my first Baldur's Gate playing. Baldur's Gate had all kinds of sexuality, all kinds of fucking bear fucking, wizard fucking, you know, vampire fucking, and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
And
Well,
it had definite representation of people who were not all straight male white characters, like not even close. But it didn't suffer any of that, like, oh, you know, sales or impact. Like, it sold like gangbusters. It sold really well.
Well, I also think that, you know, there was no pressure on Baldur's Gate 3. Like, literally zero. Because the people that know about Baldur's Gate are, like, literal fucking nerds. Like me, that played, like, the early ones. But, like, I didn't play... Like I said, the only reason why I didn't play the third one is because... In the other ones, I didn't really play that much. But I played a little bit of them. But... Because I played it on my Steam Deck, which it didn't play... This is one of the only games I played, like, shit on my Steam Deck. But I think that there was no build for Baldur's Gate 3. Literally zero. It came out of fucking nowhere for most people. And a lot of people got their hands on it. And they just kind of ignored all the other kind of stuff about it. And it's like, it's a really... That game is not... I'm surprised that it did as well as it did. Because it's a very involved game. Like, you can't just sit down with that game and just, like, go. Like, you gotta... Just finding your fucking... Your class... takes a minute. You know what I mean? So it takes a certain kind of person to like actually sit down and have some patience with this game to like find a class. Unlike, you know, some of these other games that are a little bit more easier to play. They're easy to criticize.
The thing that was... Go ahead.
I was gonna say another caveat, like Kronos, kind of the little bit of a piggyback on what Kronos was saying. This is a BioWare game, and BioWare has like a notoriety.
Yeah.
Not only for the studio that they are, but they're also a subsidiary of EA. And there are a lot of fucking gamers that do not like EA. They have the same vitriol as they do with Ubisoft. That's why Ubisoft, as you can see, the game Assassin's Creed Shadows is getting a shit ton of hate. Where it's on the fucking news and the game isn't fucking out.
Yeah.
And so we saw the same kind of vitriol with fucking Veilguard. Like, it's BioWare, it's EA being the publisher, and people loathe fucking EA, but they're cautious of BioWare because of what happened with
Andromeda. Andromeda.
What's the other one? No, not Andromeda. The other one. Fucking the one with the mechs. Anthem.
Oh,
so Anthem and Andromeda.
Oh boy,
yeah.
That was
so people are wary. They know that BioWare is a good studio. They know the games that they can make. When it comes out, a popular fucking studio comes out with this woke DEI, the type of game with a huge fucking fan base. You're gonna see a decrease in sales or no sales at all.
Well, just
So there was a lot of that shit before the game even came out, and we're seeing that again with Assassin's Creed fucking Shadows. We saw this back in fucking December. The game's not even out to the end of this month, and there's people literally having TikToks, fucking Twitter X, fucking all kinds of videos talking about the fucking history and shit of this fucking game. It's fucking wild.
Can I just say, hold on real quick? Can I just say vitriol?
Oh, well, I've heard, is it vitriol or vitriol?
Vitriol. Anyway, Prodigy, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to really quickly say, I hear where you're coming from, and I think that there are definitely people who do go too far hating on it without playing it, without it being released. Completely with you. I will also say, though, at the same time, there have been some just flat out misses from big studios and some gamers who have pre-ordered titles with their hard-earned money and been excited about things and been disappointed a few times in a row. And so some of the hate with EA and Ubisoft has been warranted from just not living up to expectations of their old heydays where they were consistently putting out quality shit. That is not the case with either one of those studios at this point. Some of it is with that. Some of it is
that's fair.
I will say, just before, I'm sorry, Coach, I got to cut in, but saying that is kind of, I feel like that's kind of a miss, because if you are doing a game that's not very well received, that's one thing. But this is a well received game by the critics. This was nominated for awards on a few awards. You don't put out a bad game and then get nominated for it, like what? Unless you're getting like a Razzie. This is nominated like top honors in the game industry.
No, I mean I understand what both you guys are saying. Honestly, both you guys are saying is relevant, but you have to remember, Ninja, like people only have so much. Most people, like the vast majority of people, only have so much money they can spend on a game.
Yep.
At any given time. Like you can only buy so many fucking games in a year. And if BioWare gave you like 2 shitty games in a row, then you're probably not going to buy the third one, right? So I can understand that from that perspective. But on the other hand, they're getting a lot of shit talked about the game online from people that never even fucking played it, and that's the problem that I have, because if you look at people that have played it, like I said, I heard nothing negative from the game from folks that have played it. So like all the reviews are relatively positive, and it seems to be a pretty decent game. I'm gonna get it, especially now because I've basically already fucking paid for it. So so I'm gonna download it. I honestly I forgot about it, but yeah, I definitely wanted to play, because I remember the first time I played a Dragon Age game, I think it was Dragon Age 2. I hated it because I didn't understand how like BioWare games worked until I started playing Mass Effect, and I was like, oh, I get it now. So yeah, I want to give it a chance. It looks like a fun game.
Yeah, it looks like a very interesting game. It looks like there's a lot of storylines. So, yeah.
I don't mind branching out. I don't mind trying it again. I really fucking love Baldur's Gate 3. That was my first time playing that level of detailed real-time strategy.
And I have to say, I am so surprised for you specifically like that game, because that, to me, that's like not. Well, honestly, the worst kind of game for you would be a platformer, but the fact that you had to like actually listen to dialogue, you know what I mean?
The great thing about it was the dialogue was engaging. It was really a well-written game. Like you get sucked into the story. The gameplay was the toughest for me because it's like turn-based. And it's really limited in terms of like your range for attacks. Like if you didn't time it out well, you know what I mean? You could waste your attacks or whatever. And here's the other thing that people forget about Baldur's Gate. It's pretty much exactly like a video game version of Dungeons and Dragons, down to the fucking 20-sided die.
Because it is Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
Let's just be clear here.
Yeah.
I mean, technically, so is fucking Dragon Age. The thing about it is that that's a third-person like action game. So
yeah, but Baldur's Gate is just Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, exactly. Like here's what I mean though too, just to be clear for all the super duper nerds out there, it's a licensed Dungeons and Dragons video game.
Thank you.
Like the game Dungeons and Dragons licensed out to Larian Studios, you know, their mechanics and like the dice and all, and they made a Dungeons and Dragons game. So
It's set in the Forgotten Realms.
Yeah,
in Dungeons and
exactly.
Dragons. So
exactly.
yeah.
So, but yeah, I will give this new. I didn't like any of the previous Dragon Age. I dipped my toe into 2 and Inquisition, and just they weren't for me. Loved Mass Effect, obviously didn't play it. Fuck with Andromeda, but 1, 2, and 3. Actually, Old Engine was the one that got me into Mass Effect. But loved that.
I think
shit.
Same. Yeah. I mean, honestly, like, yeah, Mass Effect was like that. Like that shit was so good. It was. I think I started playing like Mass Effect 2, and then I went back and played 1, and I was like, this is like basically jacking off with barbed wire. But I still played it.
Sandpaper.
Yeah, it was like it was quite bad. Like it was basically the gameplay that was fucking terrible.
Yeah, the gameplay was terrible, but the story was amazing.
Yeah.
And then again, 3 was super fun, and they had all that DLC. It gave me so much hope for BioWare, and I thought it was going to be nothing but hit after hit. I do hope they return to form. I hope this game is good. You know, you can't hate on it too hard without playing it. I get that. But yeah, I mean, obviously, we have to be very honest that sales must have been incredibly disappointing if 4 months after people were paying $60, $70, everybody on PS Plus is getting it for, you know, no additional dollars.
Yeah, well, you know, I hope that, you know, this will be a step in the right, because obviously it wasn't a bad game, even though, you know, it didn't sell well. But, you know, some good games, they don't sell well. I you know, I always go back to like the greatest example of this of all time for me is Far Cry 3. Nobody fucking bought Far Cry 3 when it first came out. Nobody. And that is one of the best games of all fucking time.
You know who taught me, or where I first learned about it, because I had never played any previous Far Cry at all. I'd heard of them, but I just never dipped my toe in. I think it was X-Play with Adam fucking Seltzler.
Yeah.
Sessler? Whatever his name.
Sessler.
Yeah, Sessler. He gave it like a 9 or a 10, and I was like, what the fuck? You know? I was like, let me fucking try it, and I loved it.
Well, it was weird. So I played the original first and second game on the PC, and they were okay. Like, it wasn't Unreal, so I was like, they were just kind of meh games. And then 3 came out, and it got buried because there was like, so I went over this before on the podcast. There was like, it came out in like December in a year that was packed full of like really good games, really good games. And yeah, once I got the chance to play it, I was like, this is fucking amazing. Like the best part, one of the best scenes in the game, besides Voss, because he was amazing in every fucking scene, the main bad guy. There's a scene where you have to like burn down a farm of weed. And it's like, it is so much fucking fun.
And they're playing Make It Bundum.
Yeah, and you're getting high. It has like all the effects of you getting high and shit.
Oh, I love that.
It was amazing. That game was fantastic.
Remember though, for the month of December, there was this weird myth in the gaming world where everybody thought it was going to just be a dump of only bad games that month back in the day. Like you would say, okay, if it's not available a few weeks earlier for Black Friday, then it must not be a good game and the studio just wanted to dump it. Almost like they used to say it was a dead zone for the summer.
Yep.
And now modern studios are like, fuck all that noise. We'll release in April. We'll release on Christmas Day. We'll release in June. Well, it doesn't fucking matter if it's a great game.
Well, it's like movies now because, you know, movies, like you have to schedule your releases. Like that's why that's why like this year is kind of like sketchy about video games because nobody knows when the fuck GTA, 6 is going to drop.
6.
Yeah. And they're just like, we don't know because that's going to be like basically nobody's going to buy a game around that time.
Yeah,
I will because I'll give you my money. Be right back.
I mean, there's some stuff. So I know that you guys are PlayStation fanboys. But the only thing that I kind of wish you guys got to experience, because I got the chance to do this, because back in the day, I fucking hated RPGs. I loathed RPGs, and a friend of mine, he knew this. And like when I first got my Xbox, he's like, "Hey, you need to play this game. Like I know you love Star Wars." And I know you hate RPGs, but there's this RPG on this game, and it involves Star Wars. And it was like, I think you're gonna like this.
You talking about Knights of the Old Republic?
Yes, Knights of the Old Republic was probably the second RPG I played, and I was just like, what the fuck is this? Because I really hate turn-based combat. But because it was a Star Wars game, I was in it. And this is when it got ported from the PC to the Xbox. And so I got it, and someone gave it to me. I think I might have bought it or something. And I played it, and I was like, what the fuck? And this is like BioWare's big like introduction to the world. This was their game. This is what basically Mass Effect is pretty much based off of.
Yep.
Their old fucking shit. And like that game was fucking amazing. It was fucking amazing. And so I was hoping that the remake or the remake was supposed to be by Asper. It was supposed to be out like a year ago, and it still hasn't happened. They're having some internal shit. They had to get another studio to come out and help. Apparently it's still on its way out. So we'll see though, but it was fucking amazing when it came out. I know there's like a generation of gamers that never got to play it. You guys are missing out on one of the best RPGs. It is turn-based, but it was fucking amazing to play. And I hated turn-based. I wanted a game like Mass Effect, and I got it. But I wanted it to be like the Star Wars game, but it's fine. But still, that game was fucking amazing.
I'm with you, and I will say this. One of the greatest things about, at first I wasn't with them, but now I've done a 180. One of the greatest things about remakes is it opens up older games for an entire new generation. And I appreciate that now, even with having like 2 kids or whatever, obviously it's rare, not impossible, but rare to see like a 14, 15-year-old right now fire up a GameCube, you know what I mean, or a PSP.
Yeah.
Like, they're just not going to fucking
you can
do it.
find them. You have to go out. You have to literally search for one.
You can get emulators, I get it, but like, it's rare. It's rare.
It is rare, but if you still like myself, and I know Cronus because I've seen his library of games, like a lot of the new systems are backwards compatible. As long as you have an internet connection, you just slide your old disc in and it fucking plays.
Well, I mean that's for people like us. I mean, like honestly, like
that's what I'm saying.
I can't expect somebody that is younger to like want to fire up like, I don't know, Tekken, and like look at some blocky ass fucking bullshit,
That's true. Very true. However, if you see, I don't know if you guys have, when's the last time you checked the PSN store?
I check all the time. Yeah,
every day.
So to Chronostan, have you, or both y'all, have you noticed that there are some older games that are on there?
Yeah,
like games from like 2003 and shit. You're able to play on your current console.
It's for us. Like,
we're
the ones with money. We're the ones that have nostalgia. So no shit, they're gonna have that stuff on there because.
But going back to what Project was saying, if you wanted to, you'd be like, hey, son or daughter, this is the game that I played. I think you might like this because you like these type of games. Maybe you should try this, and then download the game for them.
I can't recommend.
You can't recommend God of War.
Go ahead.
Here's what I said. You're not wrong. Yes, you can try that, but in the real world, like, it's a hard sell. Again, imagine someone talking to you about something from the 60s. You know what I mean? Saying, hey, go back and listen to this album from the 65. Well, it's the greatest thing you've ever... Like,
it's different with music. Because I can probably find that music for free.
That's fine. All I'm trying to say is, if you're a certain age, like a teenager right now, it's rare to appreciate something from 25, 30 years ago in terms of a game. It's not impossible. Like, for example, for whatever reason, my 14-year-old loves himself some Infamous. He went back and played Infamous 1, 2, and Second Son, even though, it looked a little grainy from the PS3 days or whatever, but he's playing on the 5. For that franchise, he did that. Everything else, like I tell him about Metal Gear and old school Resident Evil and whatnot, he's like, "Get the fuck out of here, old man!" Like, what are you talking about?
Just look at it. This is the filter that Ninja, I need you to understand. Of like, we grew up in a time where like from like fucking literally fucking Pong, we grew up.
I know. Yeah. I'm aware.
And like, so asking somebody, it's like
I'm. Hold on, just real quick. I'm from the time when there was Abacus. Just
but it's like very hard to convince somebody to play like a game that just like looks so fucking bad. Yeah. And it's just like, and it's also, it's not even just like the look of it, it's the actual gameplay mechanics are like, they're so fucking bad. Like, go back and play like the original, this is probably the greatest example of all time, because this game literally changed gaming forever. But go back and play GoldenEye.
Yeah.
Oh, I did.
on
I did, and
N64.
It's fucking weird. It was
Yeah.
fucking. Cause I have the original controllers, and I was trying to play. I'm like, how the fuck did we even play this?
Yeah,
With this
but
fucking shit?
it's literally
how does this
that
even work?
changed gaming. That made FPS possible on
On
consoles.
the console.
And
I
the
know.
game right
I
now
was
is
all about-
We
bullshit.
did. It was so new to us, especially if you were a true console gamer.
Yeah.
So new to us, the first-person shooter aspect, that we just kind of said, okay, I guess this is how they work in terms of the controller being all funky and shit, and the gameplay controls being off.
Well, that's what
You
was
know?
weird for me. So at the time, I had consoles, but I was mainly a PC gamer,
Mm-hmm.
and so I'm like coming from like Unreal. I'm like, what is this? Like I can do it, and I was like really good at it, but I was like, this is like not the business. I'm like I'm a keyboard and mouse kind of guy, and to see it go from like that to like the modern Call of Duties, like honestly, like Call of Duty, that's like probably the ideal version of first person shooters for a console. Like everything just works. People complain about like the whole like the auto lock with the triggering thing or whatever with the aim, but like you kind of need that because you don't have a lot of fine motor controls with your thumbs like that. So
Correct.
yeah,
it's different. And also, there's still actually talking about Call of Duty. There will probably be a new debate, or not a reignited debate of Call of Duty versus Battlefield, because Battlefield will be back this year, and it looks like they revamped that shit. And it's looking pretty fucking good.
Listen, all right, yes, they are revamping it, and don't get me wrong, I used to be a huge Battlefield fan. I was a huge fan of like Battlefield 2. Even the first Battlefield, I played it a lot because they did a really good job of. So back in the day, this is like take a little history lesson with Cronus again, I guess at this point. Call of Duty didn't used to have any vehicles in their games, any vehicles. But one of the great things about Battlefield, especially Battlefield 2, is that they had huge maps, vehicles, and a huge amount of people that could play in the game. But like now, Call of Duty really focused on like the actual gameplay element of it, and Battlefield really hasn't. Like the last time I played a Battlefield game, it still felt really fucking clunky. And then they had like the Battlefield where there was like no campaign and I didn't play it at all. So maybe it got better. I don't know, but it just felt like really clunky. Like we're in like the mid 2000s era, like clunky-ish bullshit. And I'm not dealing with that when we have Call of Duty, which is way smoother gameplay.
I will say this. I try to be fair every time. There have been Call of Duties that have been fucking shit. There have been some. It's not every year a banger after banger after banger. There have been some Battlefields that have been fucking shit. When it's great, it's great. I remember with you, old ninja, what was it, back 2016, 2017? Battlefield 1. Battlefield 1 was my fucking shit. Well, I played the fuck out of that.
The best part for me about Battlefield 1 was like literally like the sliver, the cunt hair of campaign that it had.
Yeah.
And that was the best part for me.
Yeah, I mean, it was cool, but the best part for me is that Battlefield 1 gave Prodigy PTSD because he was super fucking just like distraught playing that game. He's like, every time he died, it would give you the name of the soldier that you died. He's like, dude, I got somebody killed. Like, was this a real person? I'm like, dude, don't even stress about it. Just fucking keep playing. He's like, yeah, but dude, did this person live? I'm like, dude, just don't worry about it. Just keep fucking playing. Respawn already. What the fuck?
What they would do is they would say, born 1897, died 1915. And I'm like, damn, this guy was only 18 years old. God damn. That shit was
sad, this kid's life. That was your fault, Prodigy. It's your fault.
And this fool would legit stop playing for a second. I'm like, dude, he's all, dude. Like, is his family still alive? I'm like, dude, just fucking respawn. Stop reading this shit. Hurry up. I need you at the space. We're losing the space. What the fuck are you doing? Stop reading this dude's fucking eulogy. Like, what the fuck?
Listen, I had to pay respect. Press F to play respect, right? You know?
Oh, my God.
I swear to God, Kronos, this was like every time we played. Every time. I swear to God, he was playing like in a dark lit room with fucking candles. He
could have been a scientist, and he died like a bitch because I'm terrible at this game.
It was all bad. It was all bad.
Oh man.
Yeah, I was trying to make sure I was a Harlem Hellfighter when I was in the game. We were wrecking shit. It was me, Project, and a friend of mine. We were like the squad. I remember we'd play a whole game. There'd be 64 people in the game. We'd be like the best squad.
Hey, if you got the Zeppelin, you had that high ground permanently, and you could fuck everything.
Yeah, we were fucking hell of shit, dude. There's a time where you and my homeboy like took off and blew up a fucking Zeppelin. I'm like, what the fuck y'all doing? And you look up and this big ass explosion. This thing comes down and just wrecks people. I was like, what the fuck is happening right now?
Exactly. So if they go back to some of that, I'm totally fucking down. And I want Battlefield. First of all, Call of Duty needs some competition. There ain't no doubt about it.
They do.
Like
competition
helps.
Well, this is the problem. So they have competition, but it's for different kinds of games. So like
yeah,
competition now is like with Fortnite or like other live service games, which is like they're different kinds of games. They're not like what I guess we're looking for, right? They're like kind of silly or fun games for like children. And we're not children.
But you know what's so interesting that people in the Call of Duty world don't want to admit? Fortnite has heavily influenced Call of Duty in terms of like the brightness of the color of the guns and skins and crossovers with like fucking Ninja Turtles and shit.
And the microtransactions.
Yep.
Yeah, one big major influence on Call of Duty is fucking Warzone. Warzone is like a carbon copy of Fortnite.
Well, I mean that's all like goes back to PUBG. Like we got to give the original credit. That's PUBG.
Yeah, but I mean they I feel like Call of Duty kind of copied the whole. Yeah, but they kind of copied. Well, they copied they tried to copy the community of Fortnite by trying to make it with ridiculous skins and like all this shit on the map and shit. The only thing you don't have to do is you don't need to build.
Yeah.
So, but still, it's been working out. Streamers are still doing Warzone as we speak on Twitch. So
and all of that's fine, but I know we keep saying this because we're old fucks who have lived this. Everybody better watch out when GTA 6 online drops.
Yeah, I'll probably like take a week off or so. When GTA drops, because I mean, people don't understand. Like the last GTA dropped like a while ago. Like I'm pretty sure if a kid was born
2013,
they'd be like almost the age to play the game when the next one came out.
Almost.
Yeah, 2013. Jesus Christ, that's such a long time in like gaming terms. But we had a long break with God of War and Red Dead. Red Dead was a long one too. Yeah. I don't know if they're going to go to the whole. Well, actually, no. It's entirely within the realm of possibility that they go the realm of Red Dead and just knock it out of the park and just like redefine what the game means.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You know what game also had a really long fucking break? It literally missed an entire whole generation. Was Alan Wake. The second one didn't come out until this current generation.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, but
was on the 360.
I don't feel like Alan Wake is on the same level as like these other games we're talking about. Like nowhere near.
No, because there's no multiplayer.
Well, it's even
popularity too. I mean,
popularity. Yeah.
Okay. I'll give you that.
I mean, the original Red Dead Redemption, not the original Red Dead, which I didn't play that one. I played Red Dead Redemption, but the thing about Red Dead, Redemption 2 at the end, realizing that it leads into like the next game that you already fucking played if you play the game.
Yep.
That was amazing. Like nothing in gaming has ever existed like that before. Ever.
I completely agree, but there was one other big moment in Red Dead Redemption 2. I mean, spoilers for a game that came out in 2018.
Yeah.
When I went to motherfucking Cuba, Yeah. That fucked me up. I was like, where am I? What's going on? And there was even another one. I mean,
the main character, like what happened to him.
Yeah, like what happened to him. Like his whole fucking journey. The game's a masterpiece. Like all the way around.
Yeah. Because literally like what happens to the main character, and you like in your mind when it happens, you like rewind in your mind of like, oh, remember that little cough back in the day?
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, like he's like this dude's really fucking sick. Like
it's funny because it starts out really subtle, and people are like, "You need to get that checked out," and then it just gets worse.
Yeah,
like when he found out what it really is, he's like, "Oh shit, this guy's not gonna make it."
Yeah, because you do. There is a point in like the New Orleans.
Saint Denis. I love that.
You go to the doctor, and he's just like, a little cough or whatever. He's like, yeah, you should really check that out. And it is something subtle. I'm like, man, I'm going back to killing the Klansmen and all that, whatever the fuck.
Meanwhile, consumption's killing you.
Yeah.
Also known
the
as
best part-
tuberculosis.
Yeah, the best part is like when you like rope a Klansman and drag him by your horse. That's what's fun as fuck.
Or, sorry, and I know we're nerding out on this older game, but when you got a perfect fucking pelt, my God, I couldn't put down my fucking erection for like a day and a half. Like,
Damn. That's a little. That's just.
Bro, what
that's
the fuck?
You know, fucking perfect pelt, because like you had to, you can't ruin the pelt. You got to use the bow and arrow. You got to do it right. Like, man, come on now.
Yeah, no, there was a lot about that game.
There's
like,
a lot.
They had economies in that game.
Yes.
Like building your own little little town and shit. It was just like dialed up there.
And
That's a 10. It's a 10.
That shit had a fucking whole online component that had its own fucking story.
Yeah, they did, which I didn't play
That's
very
fucking
much of.
crazy.
And my first gameplay, I was trying to play it evil or whatever, and I was having a hard time.
Yeah,
and then I was like, well, wait a minute. If I talk to the people in my camp, I get additional items and help, and it's easier.
Hell yeah.
Like,
hell yeah.
So I replayed it like 3 times in a row, like back to back to back.
I couldn't do that. Game was too long for me to play back to back. That's just fucking long ass fucking game. I didn't even do everything. I was trying to do all the Easter eggs. I wanted to find the vampire. I saw the UFO. I didn't see the ghost train. There was like, what else? There was there's hella shit.
I love how that's did with no wife and kids. It's like, oh, not enough time.
Yeah, dude.
Well, I was in school at the time. So,
in school?
Yeah.
Okay. That's okay.
Yeah.
Perfect fucking game though, man. And then I would have a whole lot of fun. Like, do I need him to have a beard right now, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do I leave the mud on his fucking boots?
Yeah.
Clean shaven. Anyway.
Just going on literal crime sprees.
Yeah.
Like in different towns, but like, okay, I'll just let the heat die down around there. I'll come back maybe later.
Maybe.
Yeah.
And then you have bounty hunters fucking hunting your ass down with fucking. They set you up with fake ass fucking kidnappings or a fake ass woman in trouble. They have they try to fuck your ass up.
It's all right. They all end with the bullet, so it's all good.
Yeah,
that's crazy though.
If you set your potions up real well too, you could do that slow down time and take them all out so fucking quick and easily. I loved it.
You could, especially if you had a particular. There's like a gun that you had to get that was like fucking just dead on. Like it was one shot for sure.
Yeah, one of them rare handguns.
Yeah, like you can slow down time. If you hit them if you hit them in their hand, they're dead. Like, God dang, that was some shit. I put in some work in that game. That game took a minute for me to finish. I don't know how you played it multiple times because that was a long ass fucking game.
That it fucking got its hooks. That one and Witcher 3 got its hooks in me real bad. So, but yeah, we're gonna see. Rockstar, they typically knock it out of the fucking park. Here's the other thing though, they could still delay this game. Like it's not a guarantee that it's dropping this year.
And
that's very true.
And I'd be fine with that. For it. I mean, listen, I'm happy for it. As far as I know, Doom Dark Ages is still coming out. There's been no delays. It seems like it's been a pretty solid game. I'm good for the. I might bust too many nuts playing this game. So this game looks amazing. So yeah, it's a weird time to be alive where if you're a gamer, you're not wanting very much. Like there's plenty of games out there. There's plenty of games you probably haven't played. Plenty of gems that you have no idea about that we talk about all the time in this podcast. Like if you listen to this podcast and you haven't played, Far Cry 3 or any Far Cry game whatsoever, like you're missing out. Go back and play some of those fucking games.
Mm-hmm.
You're not gonna be disappointed.
Those are fun.
Oh, hold on. Somebody said, "Have you seen the rumors?" Sorry, Brendan Park in the chat. He said, "Have we seen the rumors that GTA 6 may be $100?"
Yes.
Absolutely. And honestly, I've got the money, so I don't give a single fuck.
I mean, even if it was, it's gonna kind of make people hesitate, but not like fully stop. I think they're gonna if so let's say the game comes out in December and this by June. By June, you're gonna set aside that $100 for when that game comes out.
Honestly, I don't think it's be $100, but I mean, there's if that's a lot. Like I get that, but I think that people like Oninja was saying, like if you want to play the game, you can you you can budget $100 in a month. Like,
Mhm.
I'm not gonna say everybody, but most people can budget $100. Most.
Even with the looming recession, you'll find a way.
Let's be perfectly real. Some of y'all gonna jump on that OnlyFans, start doing some, helicopter dicking, and make it happen for that $100. I'm gonna tell you
Or
that.
you could just use a firm. Like, what the fuck? We're living in like the time we got to sell some ass to like get a video game. Like, bro, no, it's like 4 payments of $25. Like, you're good, bro. Like, you don't need an STI or some shit like that to fucking get in the game. Prodigy, why you giving out fucking terrible advice, bro?
That's fucking all bad. But it's hilarious as well.
Yeah. Look, people gonna do a lot of stuff for to make that happen. I don't think it'll be 100. I think it'll probably be 70 or 80.
That reminded me of, well, it's definitely gonna be
75.
70, but it reminded me of God, I forget the comedian's name. He passed away, but have you ever sucked dick for weed? Like, who the fuck was that?
Isn't that Dave Chappelle?
No,
Isn't that Dave Chappelle
no, the white guy said it though. He's a dirty ass comic. He passed away like a couple years ago.
Yeah, no,
the guy was on that fucking show that was in San Francisco. Goddamn, with the family, it was like with the dad.
Oh, Bob Saget.
Bob Saget. There we go. Thank you. Goddamn. Bob Saget. You ever smoke dick for weed? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, shit, I forgot. Yeah. So we have some time really quick. I kind of want to go do some rapid fire kind of shit really quickly. Because it's been on here for a minute. I kind of feel like I got to talk about these.
What you got?
Just really quick. So this movie that I'm about to talk about, I think it's streaming in like a couple weeks.
Oh, shit.
I saw it in the theater. It's fucking Kraven. I saw Kraven in the theater. It was not the business. Like, I will say this though, it was better than Venom: The Last Dance.
No shit.
But it was still not that good of a movie. So when you watch the movie, you can tell there are obvious editing fucking just like, I don't know if they're mistakes or if they just like cut out shit that wasn't working or was weird, but whatever they did, it doesn't work for the overall film. It's kind of weird how like this fucking dude, he gains power from like a Ghanaian voodoo witch, like because a lion mauls him and she gives him this like elixir that her grandma gives him, or she gives her, and he gives it because the lion dropped its own blood in his blood and it mixed together with this magical potion. Now he has powers, and like it was kind of weird, but it's like a comic movie, so I let it go. But then shit, like there's a scene where he asks about the potion from the girl Calypso, and he's like, where did you get this? And he's like, well, I got this from my grandmother, and like she died, and that was the last time I saw her. I'm like, did she just say that fucking line? Like, what the fuck? Of course that's the last time you saw her, because she fucking died. Like, who fucking wrote this shit?
I mean,
like, I didn't get that shit.
I saw my dad after he died. There's this whole thing called a funeral, and sometimes they open caskets, so you know.
Yeah, that's true, but she was talking about like she was going to get information. She talks as if she's going to get information from this person.
Okay.
So it doesn't flow very well. Like he has a brother, and like the movie doesn't do a very good job of letting you know that they could be half brothers. Like they may not have the same mom, but at first it kind of seems like they do. And I guess in the comics they're half brothers, and it's just like kind of messy. I know a lot of people hated on the Rhino, even though I personally enjoyed the Rhino. Like I know the Rhino's supposed to be a guy in a suit.
They're dick pills and they work very well, right?
Yeah, Rhino's
was he blue? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. No, he was gray, but still.
The gray. I don't know the gray Rhino.
Might
be 9,000. I'm just saying.
That's a 5,000. That's the 5,000.
9,000. I think your dick gets so hard it loses color.
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah. I think that's called rigor mortis. Anyway.
That's called Dicka Mortis. I'm just, you know.
Oh, that should be the name. Anyway, but yeah, it's just like I know he's supposed to be a suit. They made his whole thing biological about the scientist that you never see, but they talk about him like over and over again, but you never meet this dude. And I thought it was gonna be Doc Connors, and it's not. The movie is just like kind of sloppy. The one thing it does great is it does great action scenes. The action scenes and are fucking amazing. What's his name? Aaron Taylor Thomas. He knew the assignment, so he puts his foot into the role. But the rest of the movie kind of falls apart. Like when it comes to full on action, like his action is great, but the reason why he does it is kind of stupid. Like, what the fuck is this really about? Are you really about conservation? So I know you guys have played Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
So his whole idea about, I guess, kind of like eugenics thinking and like man being the best prey and superhero being better and all this shit. All that ideology is not with him. It's with his father, played by Russell Crowe.
Okay.
And I'm like, what the fuck is this? And like, he hates his dad. So the thing I have with this movie, they made Kraven, who was obviously a bad guy, they make him the good guy. And he has like, his whole reasons for doing what he does is to protect his family. And I know in the comics and the games, it's not really like that. Until, like way later. Yeah. So like the way his dad is, I feel like his attitude, the way he behaves, that's the Kraven in the comic books, but not in the movie.
But let me just be really clear. I haven't seen it yet. I think it is on Netflix or
it should be on Netflix, I think, next week.
Yeah, whatever it is. I might check it out late night or early morning sometime if I'm bored. But nobody give a single solitary fuck about like Kraven. And I don't mean that in the way of like, oh, nobody knew or gave a fuck about Guardians. I mean, you knew of Kraven if you liked Spider-Man, like you would see him from time to time, but you still didn't give a fuck about him. You know what I mean? Like not enough to watch a movie about him.
Yeah, he was not. He was not a Doc Ock. I'm just saying.
Yeah. So I mean, Kraven's not the only villain in the film because there's like 3 or 4 villains. The thing about it is that the problem Sony keeps doing is making their villains the hero in their films. I'm like, dude, these are supposed to be not good people. They're supposed to be like literally murderous and just almost plain evil.
And fighting Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's the other part of it. But it's very difficult for most people, especially Americans, to watch a movie about a villain.
Yeah.
So, and that's a thing. I don't think that any movie has like really broken that mold very well.
The only one there's a franchise that's actually done it, and that is the Silence of the Lambs or Hannibal Lecter movies, because he was a straight-on villain, and those movies are each about him.
Yeah, but he was not he wasn't really considered
how he's in prison for eating people. So
he is, but like the focus was not on him. It was like he was literally like
the first. So Manhunter, aka Red Dragon, and Silence of the Lamb are not about him. However, Hannibal Rising and Hannibal are 100% about him. So, and he's like the main.
I feel
you're literally supposed to root for him in Hannibal.
There's like honestly, there's a book series called Vicious, which hopefully they make it into like a movie or a series or something like that. It's by V.E. Schwab, and it's like one of the best like villain focused like books I ever read. Because it's like it literally like just breaks down like this person's like whole thing about being like a villain and like doing like really fucked up shit to people, and you just get all of like their perspective like the whole time. I think it's better than the Hannibal series. So maybe someday. I mean, I get it. It turned into a comic too, or I think so. A graphic novel, maybe.
And then the other two, I would say, is Dexter and the Netflix series You. Those two guys.
Dexter, Dexter doesn't count because he's a hero. He only kills bad guys. Like that's a hero.
He still kills them, and he's running from the law. It's not like he's
still a fucking hero. He's only killing bad guys.
So I mean, he's still killing people outside of the law.
But it's only bad guys. So it's like saying like
you have to caveat.
No, I mean like you look at like Captain America or like fucking any Marvel character, like they kill people all the time.
Punisher does.
Well, Punisher does all the time. That's true.
Well, and I guess also, with like other characters, like they make it seem ambiguous, like just throwing off a building, like they're gonna fucking survive or some shit.
That's true too. But there's also You. I haven't seen You, but apparently this guy's he's like a fucking stalker.
I saw at least season 1, maybe even season 2 of that. He is an obsessed stalker. I mean, there's no doubt about it, and he gets worse as it goes on.
Yeah, but you're rooting for him, and he's typically a bad person.
You're from maybe because you're a bad person.
Yeah, I was gonna say
I don't deny this.
Well, we just be real about this. I'm just saying.
I think the tension in the show is he going to get caught in his bullshit? And you sort of want him to get caught, but you also are like, I can't believe he got out of it with that bullshit.
Can I just rewind for like maybe like a minute and a half? Odin admitted that you never watched the show.
Oh yeah, I said I haven't seen you.
But
so.
then you just said maybe like that's the good guy, like root for him, like.
Well, I mean, that's the whole reason of the show is that you root for this guy. I mean,
No,
if he's
like
not there, then you have no show.
I want to just stop. Like you should not be rooting for a stalker. Like
No,
I mean, no.
I will. No, I will say this though. It is the show skews more towards a female audience. I will definitely say that, and I think that there are, unfortunately, some that initially think of it as semi-romantic in the early going. I can, because like I said, it builds up his level of crazy and his level of stalking, and then it certainly crosses that line or whatever, which it gets into disturbing territory for certain, like kidnapping as well. But yeah, I was never rooting for him. Like, so I watched it.
Brandon brought up a good point. The Sopranos is probably one of the closest examples of that's a good point. Yeah. And also, like, I guess kind of like most of Oz.
Yeah.
Oz. You're rooting for like the least shitty kind of bad guy in Oz.
Almost. So. I would even say Scarface in most gangster movies.
Yeah, that's true.
Because Scarface, Tony gets worse and worse and killing people with the chainsaw, and killing Frank, Yeah, I mean.
I think America has like a weird obsession with like gangsterism bad guys, which also explains why we have our current president.
God dang.
But there's that.
Yeah, there's that. Anyway, with Kraven, now that's on Netflix, you can enjoy it at your leisure. Same thing with Madam Web, but I actually paid to see this movie. I was going to warn people probably not to waste your time, but now it's on Netflix. You can waste your 2 hours, or maybe clean while you're watching it.
Maybe.
I will tell you this: my daughter, who's not quite 11 yet, fucking loved Madam Web. I know that sounds weird as shit. Like, she found it on Netflix, and I was like, that's supposed to be a really bad movie.
It's a target audience,
Yeah, but something about it just fucking worked for her, and she was just like, she's watched it like 2 or 3 times now.
Is she reading comics now?
Good Lord.
She's not as much. She's definitely doing a lot of like fictional reading, but not as much comics. She thinks that's more of her brother's type of thing. But she liked fucking Madam Web, more than I thought she would.
Did you just say mission fail, Cronus?
Yeah, she ain't reading comics. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Gotta get her in
there.
Yeah. So we're running low on time, but actually I can do it probably really quickly. Venom: Last Dance is probably the worst of the 3. It's like a fucking vacation movie where he's like going on vacation with his hippie family. And it's like, what the fuck? Yeah, and like the whole thing about symbiotes having a hard time finding a host is out the window, and like you see Null very early on, but you don't know why he's in prison per se. But it seems like he's able to still control an army while he's in prison. And of course, the only way to get him out is through Venom. Venom has the key to let him out, so they send Sentinels to go get him.
Accurate, but yeah.
Yeah, but still, it's not executed very well. So another movie where Tom Hardy knew the assignment. This is his movie, but it's everything around him is just shit. Like, it's just fucking utter shit. Like, it feels like a buddy comedy at some points, and like it's just like it wasn't working for me. It went downhill. Like the first one, I was able to tolerate.
Yeah.
Where Let There Be Carnage, kind of the wheels came off, and then this one is a fucking utter train wreck. I was just like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, there's no Spider-Man at all. Toxin, who's in the movie, he's like underutilized. He's supposed to be like a hero, apparently. He's not used at all. He's used as like an informant. Null is completely and utter, like, not even used, even though he's voiced and I guess acted by Andy Serkis.
Why are we talking about this came out like super earlier on, like last year, wasn't it? Like,
this came out in like October of last year.
We should talk about Daredevil, but yeah, like that came out, but like we're out of time, so
that's fine.
Yeah, next. I don't know if y'all watched Daredevil like at all.
Yes,
I haven't seen it.
Okay,
I'm caught up.
Prodigy, you watched like the first series, right?
Oh yeah.
It's better than the first series.
Ooh.
Like I said, definitively at this point. So if you're on the fence about Daredevil, like, oh, it's on Disney now, it's better than the first one. I don't give a fuck what you gotta say. Like, it really is. Like, the first episode will leave you feeling some sort of way. I will just put it that way. And this last episode was the cliffhanger at the end was amazing. Like, y'all will see. It's been really good. We'll talk about it next week when we have another episode out. But yeah, watch Daredevil Born Again. It's dope.
Yeah, it's been pretty good. It's 3 episodes out now.
Yes.
So it's quick and crazy. I will say this. They acknowledge that there's been a lot of shit going on in the MCU, and they kind of touch on it, but they don't dwell on it. They mainly focus on the world of Daredevil himself. And he's gone through some changes. So
okay. All right. That's high praise. I like the OG version. So let's see.
And Disney tried to up the ante by dropping the F-bomb and like very early on. So.
I mean, people are getting fucked up and like a lot.
Yeah, they get fucked up. The first episode, they get fucked up hard. I was like, what the fuck?
Good shit.
Hard. And it's like brutal. And the thing is, it's not like fully like it's still early, but apparently there's supposed to be some fucked up shit that's supposed to go down.
Let's save it for next week. Let's save it for next week. I'll check out a little bit and we'll see from there. All right, what you got popping this week, old ninja?
I'm doing more Monster Hunter Wilds. I'm not really. I've been traveling up and down the state a little bit, but the weather's been kind of weird, so I'm just gonna kind of keep it kind of local. I've been watching the Mayor of Kingstown, which is also another fucked up ass show. So I'm behind. I know that the third season had already finished, but I'm on the third season now. Watching Daredevil, which has been fucking a roller coaster ride of fucking just crazy shit. Like, I'm surprised they stuffed so much shit in very few episodes so far. So I'm liking it. Yeah, I guess that's kind of it for me. There's no beer week this week, so there you
go. There's not, unfortunately.
What you got, Cronus?
You know, it's funny that you brought up Beer Week because I forgot to like post like the last 2 days of Beer Week because, you know, I was drinking heavily. But I posted like one of the last days today, and I'll post the next one probably tomorrow of like folks that I was hanging out with, and it was like had a really great time. I need to like work out some more. So yeah, I've been working out, but I feel a little chubby. I need to like I need my sauna back. I'll let somebody borrow my sauna, and I don't have it back yet. Like I need it back now. I need to like do some hard sauna sessions, and you know, find a new deity while sweating. But yeah, other than that,
wait. Just to caveat, is it still that little one-person sauna thing you were talking about?
It's a one-person one, but it's like it's not the one with like my head is sticking out. It's like it's a full body one.
I remember seeing that one. That one's fucking weird. It looked like you're inside like a human toaster thing. I was like, what the fuck is that?
So I let somebody borrow that who does jiu-jitsu too, and I never got it back. So like this other person I let borrow who does jiu-jitsu, like she was gonna drop it off, but I didn't have my car at the time, so like I couldn't get it. But now I do. I'm like, all right, now I need it back because I'm getting fucking fat. All right. So I need to hop back in that sauna. Yeah, I'm just, you know, enjoying my single life again. So it's been weird, but you know, whatever. I'm doing whatever at this point. Trying to get out more and just do more stuff. So yeah, that's all I got. And thank you to everybody that saw me for SW Week.
Good shit. I'm really excited about these last few episodes of Solo Leveling. I think they got 2 left starting on Saturday.
Oh man, it's so good.
Yeah, loving it. We can talk about that next week too. Definitely going to get on some more Monster Hunter. My goal is to get up to at least HR level 20, maybe 22.
Human resources. Really? What are you talking about?
You know, I know what I did.
That's a hunter rank, right?
Yeah,
it's hunter rank. Mm-hmm. You can get really quick of like a 45-minute session. We'll probably get you there.
Yeah. If I get with the right squad with me, so definitely enjoying the fuck out of that. I will give Daredevil a shot, and other than that, I'm just fucking trying to live it up. Actually, a good buddy of mine from Sacramento is coming down with his family. I think on Saturday, so we'll probably see them. Maybe do a museum or something. I don't know.
Homestead is
shit. Yeah,
my friend Christopher from college.
Yeah, he has kids like kids.
He does. Yeah.
There's the new children's museum in SF or in San Diego. Have you been there?
I haven't been there.
It's really cool. It's like kids are like around like kids to like maybe like mid teenage years or early teenage years.
Yeah,
Enjoy. It's actually pretty cool.
excellent.
They have an Octavia Butler book section. So
Very
Oh
nice.
shit!
yeah.
I have not read any of her fucking books. I've been
Oh.
meaning to for
You
years.
gotta fix that shit.
I've
Man.
yet to read her fucking books.
Parable of the
She's like-
Sower. Start there. Like
Wait, which one?
Parable of the Sower. Like start there.
Oh yeah, because I heard she's made really good sci-fi, and I've
Yeah.
yet to read any of her shit. But we didn't talk about Blue. Blue's in the wind, but apparently he's coming down to see y'all. So
Yeah.
Oh yeah. We should link up. I think Tuesday, Thursday, one of these days.
Thursday. Yeah.
Thursday. So
There you
that'd be fucking awesome. We'll meet up. I think we were talking about Irvine or something like that.
Yeah.
So good shit. Take us out on Ninja.
all right, you just experienced Black and the Black times Infinity.
Infinity.
Take this podcast on the internet. Check us out anywhere and everywhere with Bees and BTI. That's BTHANBTI. Anywhere you consume your podcast, just know that every Wednesday we go live on YouTube, 8:30 Pacific-ish time, and on Twitch as well. You can see us and be in the chat and be part of the discussion. Anywhere you listen to your podcast, we're on almost every streaming platform that I can think of for now. If you're missing one, you can let us know in our Discord, because we have a Discord. You can email us at btmbti@gmail.com. Let us know you want to join our Discord, which has been super live in the last few weeks. Pretty awesome. Check out our official website. Let's see. It's benheadproductions.squarespace.com/btmbti. Right? Yep. You're right. Okay. There you go.
Gemma squirting on a Cybertruck.
That is, bro.
At last has succeeded in penetrating further and further into the unknown vastness of space. Yet many questions remain unanswered.